It's always a good thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Did, did Harley tell you?
He still has, it's in remission.
All right. Good evening.
It's gotten better, but, better, but,
All right, let's take a seat, and we'll make some introductions to our friends in law enforcement, our county partners. That's right. Thank you, Mary. All right.
Come on, guys.
Here we go. We have some folks online as well that are listening. So we're gonna. Here's the agenda for tonight. It should be a short and sweet meeting. Introductions to our partners in law enforcement from California Highway Patrol, LA South Los Angeles Sheriff's Station, as well. We'll have some updates from the Second District Supervisor's Office. Our ON is running a few minutes late, it looks like. An important announcement about non-conforming vehicle ordinance that comes into play April 2nd. So we'll talk a little bit about that. There's a website. About that. That date, that March 25th date is not happening in terms of the aviation sports complex. It's actually called the Wiseburn Sports Complex. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. We'll talk about board elections. Your board members have aged out. All of us are looking for some younger blood to come and take leadership roles. So we're inviting the community in nominations. Our nomination period passed. We'll talk a little bit about what's in store there, and then we'll leave the open forum for question and answers. Bill, do you want to come up and make introductions? Bill Magoon, do you want to come up and make introductions?
Okay, guys. First off and foremost, we always open up with questions and stuff for law enforcement. I always forget your name, sir. Sergeant Becerra. Lieutenant Giggles, yours? Lieutenant David Rajicki. I know you, I can't think of your name. And we have a new Highway Patrol captain, Captain Dominguez, West LA. Say hello to him. Before we get too deep, some of you guys' favorite captain, and mine too for many things, Captain Palomino has been promoted to commander, and she is no longer at our station. Lieutenant Giggles is acting captain for the time being. I believe our new West LA station captain has a few words he wants to talk to you guys. Come on up, sir. We'll get you out of the way first. All right.
Of course, you caught me eating the donuts right as he introduced me. It's my nemesis. But no, thank you very much. I took over at the end of last year the West LA Area Command, which covers this beautiful community. But I'm so happy that we came here today because I've been working with this young man to get something that was very vital to this community done, and that was 3 different passageways of some encampment issues cleaned up and locked down. And we were very... What specifically were those sites, the gates at?
136 in La Cienega, 135 in La Cienega, and 139 in La Cienega were the 3 bad ones. And this young lady right here lives across the street from one, so she was probably one of the most grateful.
Awesome. Well, we had an issue because with when people break the locks or break the chain, we can shore it up traditionally. The Caltrans will come in there and do that, but then they'll break it again. So we came up with a very innovative way to secure that much, much better, and I think that will secure those three.
Because we had to put our own lock on it, and Caltrans came by, went to do work, and we handed them the key, they never handed it back. We had no locks.
Right.
So we could get in.
We came up with another innovative way, so
Yeah,
we'll,
there are other gates, and the captain is aware of some of these other gates.
yeah, so we'll talk.
See
and-
what can work.
But we were very successful, and we really got, working hand in hand, we were able to do something that we hadn't done before, so we're very excited. So looking,
29th and Hacienda has a safe harbor.
awesome. Well, we'll take a look at that. But we're very excited to be here, and thank you so much for welcoming and being willing to
Thank you for-
do all those emails and get it
Yeah,
locked
yeah.
down.
Welcome to West LA.
Yes. Any other questions? Well, yes.
Next to each of those locks, there's a sign, and I think that says, basically, if you break this lock, it's illegal, it's against the law. So does that give you guys the right to arrest them?
If we see it, yes. Yeah, if we can see it, or if we,
Posted what the law is.
yeah, if it's 100%. But even beyond that, we wanted to secure it so that it wasn't going to be an issue when nobody was watching. And I think we were successful at doing that. So when it happened, I got a hold of him at the moment, because it may or may not have happened after hours, or, let's just say.
I was taking pictures and I sent it to him.
Yeah, we were very happy. So I hit him up. I was like, we did it. We did it. I was so excited for it. So it was good. But we're looking forward to working with you. And if you have any questions, I'll be hanging out for a little bit, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Does anybody have any questions for our sheriff's department and highway patrol? Anything? David, go ahead.
If it's not, if you don't see them or catch them, if somebody else sees them and points them out, can you charge them with that crime?
Yeah, we can validate that they broke the law.
The question is if the lock being broken is not seen, is a charge able to be made? Right, and the answer was, repeating for the people online.
Oh, sorry. If we have enough evidence, then yes, we can arrest them.
If there's enough evidence that an arrest can be made, is what the captain responded.
Trying to think a step ahead and prevent that after hours.
Yes.
My son goes to school here, and we see a lot of Hawthorne PD patrolling frequently, but I never see you guys patrolling. So is there like a specific patrol date, time, frequency, percentage around the Wiseburn area that you guys do?
I'm going to repeat the question just for the folks that are listening. The question was the frequency of patrol. Patrols are seen on the Hawthorne side of the school path, not as often on the unincorporated area of the school path, and just the frequency of patrols.
So there is no frequency, I mean, we just randomly patrol. There's no time frame that you'll see us, there's no, specific hours that you'll see us. If you call us, we'll come out here. We're usually out here, but there's no real frequency as far as when we do patrol the streets.
Okay.
So it's sheriff's and highway patrol that is for.
For Wiseburn, unincorporated, yes.
So we do the crime, highway patrol do traffic. Yes. We also sent out, you guys should all have crime stats, and it looks like, looking at these crime stats, all the crime has pretty much gone down this year, with the exception of auto theft, which went up by like 3. So I don't know if you guys have any questions regarding it, but we passed these out so you guys can take a look at it. If you have any questions, let us know. But our deputies are out here actively patrolling. We still have our community car that deals with quality of life issues. So, and then we're gonna have our summer team, which starts pretty soon, which will be 4 units, 2-man units that will handle all quality of life issues, crimes that might occur in the summer months. And they're a no-call car. So they'll just be out there being proactive.
And I don't know how often this is happening, but we had a lady come about 10 at night, I think it was. 11 at night, and looking around on our patio and everything, and my husband opened the door, and he goes, "Oh, you guys need somebody to babysit or something like that?" We're like, "No."
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys call us?
No, because
She's harmless, but still, we said, come back again with the report.
I thought maybe she was one of those lost seniors for a minute, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe she, but she went off to the next house and,
But call us, that way we can go out there, check her out, make sure she's okay. Maybe she might be having issues or is lost, like you said. Yeah, just give us a call, we'll send somebody out there and they'll look into it. Yeah. Mhm. Any other questions?
Been around, I work from home, so I'm consistently in the area.
Okay.
I feel personally there's an increase
exactly like, what are they doing? Are they just walking around, or do you think maybe they might be casing the area?
Well, I mean, you can go right on the corner of Ocean Gate and, what is that, El Segundo? There's a man living there under an umbrella right now, he's been there for like a week.
Okay.
So, that, and then back and forth.
You said Ocean
Right next
Gate,
to the gas station, yeah, he's been there for a week.
right off of El Segundo?
Right
Right.
from the gas station.
Ocean Gate and El Segundo.
El Segundo.
The passageway, I think, La Cienega, Ocean Gate, shoot like that from Rosecrans, it's like consisting, so I guess they're not breaking the law, which is fine, but again, patrol frequency, you guys around a lot would be so helpful, so that maybe they don't start going through our community to get back and forth, it would just be preferable.
Tiffany, you can also, is when you have a moment, just call the station, ask them to do a welfare check.
Yes.
Deputies will come out, make contact with them, you know, get their name, their ID, you know,
Yeah.
you know, kind of get them in the system, you know.
Okay.
But what we'll do is we'll send our community car out there and just kind of check it out.
Thank you.
Yes. So,
These people are in a tough place, what do you do with them if you go over there?
so normally we'll offer them help, like, if it's like a group, what we'll normally do is have our host team come out, like if it's one individual person, we'll try to see if we can get them help. Or like look for actual housing for them, or call, like we have numbers of people that we can call. A lot of time, these people don't want help, just so you know, they don't want help. So they rather just wander the streets. But like I said, if it's a group, like there's a group just kind of building up, call us, we'll try to get our host team out there, and normally they come with like, you know, veteran services or like homeless shelter services where they'll offer it to them, but like I said, a lot of times they don't take the help. And again, it's not a crime to be homeless, but I do understand you don't want them in your area, so just call us. Call us and we'll go out there and see exactly like Bill said, a welfare check. Yeah.
I do understand we don't have a 911, right?
Oh, you do,
Yes, we do.
you do,
We do?
absolutely.
Okay, so we can still call 911?
Absolutely.
Okay, I thought it was, we just have to call you guys.
Oh, no.
Oh,
If
no,
it's an
no,
emergency, call
911 is-
911.
Nationwide.
Yes.
So when I call 911, it gets bumped around. like, I'll
That can
forget by
happen,
the time it
that
gets
can
there.
happen. So be
Is
sure,
there like a clear
be
way?
sure you tell the 911 operator that you live in an unincorporated area.
I do, and I
Okay.
tell them, like I say, hi, I need sheriff's, like I'm very specific, I live here, and I let them know. But then it's like, okay, please hold, I have to transfer you now, and I'm just like, okay, well,
Are you calling on your cell phone or a landline?
cell phone.
That's probably what it is, because it's just whatever tower picks it up. Yeah,
Even from my own home?
yes. It's whatever tower picks it up. Yeah, because you might go to CHP. If you have a landline, call us from your landline.
Got it, okay.
Or, yeah, if you want the station's direct number, do you have that?
I may, I'll look and see.
That's your best,
Yeah.
somebody will answer that
Right.
24/7, you
So
know.
I can let you guys know, it's 323-820-6700.
Can you say it one more time,
323-820-6700.
Okay.
Yeah. But you definitely have a 911.
Yes, I
Yes.
call
So,
people on the exit,
Yeah.
walking on the freeway, right? I call, I'm gonna run over this person, and they'll patch me to CHP, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
so if it's an emergency, please utilize your 911. Yeah, if they transfer you, it's not us.
Anything else, you guys?
Questions
Any
for
questions for Highway Patrol? Speeding issues? Anybody, people run the stop signs left and right all day, every
Oh, I
day?
have a question.
Yes.
We've been bringing up the speeding for 5 years and still nothing happens.
What was that?
I gave up.
What kind of issues?
Speeding.
Speeding,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. It's, you know,
I mean, they could use Ocean Gate as a freeway from El Segundo to Rosecrans. And then in the morning, because we have so many kids out of district, parents are running late, and they're flying down the streets to get to the schools in this area. It's been an issue forever.
Forever.
can we maybe sometime in the future get a couple of motors to kind of work our neighborhood for a few days? Yeah? Yeah, Ocean Gate, La Cienega, yeah, that'd be great. There you go, okay. We'll get a couple CHP motors to work it.
They'll get you guys.
They'll give,
Yeah,
they'll give.
it's our parents. We know a big percentage of them It's our parents running late.
No, it's the ones coming from Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Because they're coming, you know, I'm the last block in the county, and they're all coming, going this way.
But it's a lot of them are our school parents, regardless of where they're coming from,
Yeah,
right?
but
They're dropping,
not
yeah.
letting them, they're in the city of Hawthorne. And if you guys want to use my driveway as a stage area, you're more than welcome.
Thank you. I'm sure CHP hears you guys in the back over there.
It's fine, it's in the right place.
Did you have a question?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there any updates or is there anything being done about kids and adults now on these bikes?
Oh, God, that's another one.
So we've reported multiple parents to the, to the superintendent, to each of the principals. We've called in to the sheriff's department, and it's like, and it's parents too, and kids that are on the sidewalks, especially in the morning and after, like, riding.
Anything come down from Sacramento, anything new on the e-bike situation? I know a lot of states are starting to deal with that aggressively.
Yeah, we got a new, like a reference guide on new e-bike enforcement. So we're using that, and the
Okay.
officers are now carrying that in the field. It's just got a little stricter, laws that can apply to violations that are on e-bikes.
For all you guys or parents that your kids have these things, the latest as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's got foot pegs, it's considered an electric motorcycle. The child must be licensed, have a motorcycle endorsement, must be 16 years of age or older, correct? And all these things are, you know, or they could take it. So just, you know, you might want to spread that around to some of your parents.
I mean, there's parents even that are on
Oh,
motorized
yeah,
bikes
yeah.
on the sidewalks in the mornings and afternoon. I mean, that's an easy one for you guys to be like, that's an adult on the bikes with their kids. I understand if it's a minor, it's kind of difficult to pull a minor over and give them a ticket or whatever, but,
Well, we still can.
okay.
Yeah,
We have
still can.
one young man, Captain, that every morning, he's actually quite talented, but his favorite thing is to come northbound La Cienega, 8 o'clock, in the southbound lane doing the wheel, you know, on his way to school, you know? But it's like a snapshot moment in time, you know, that he's gone, you know?
Yeah, and the bikes are clearly not they've been altered, right, to the, I forgot if it's staged, you know, if it's level or level 3, you know, but they flip the switch, right, and the thing goes, you know, 35, 40 miles an hour easily.
Faster.
If not faster, yeah.
So what was the answer?
Well, again, like anything, you know, one of the.
Are patrolling more or?
One of the negatives, you guys, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm gonna be 100% brutally honest. One of the negatives of living in the county is you don't have a small geographical area of local law enforcement. We have to rely on these guys and these guys. County's a big place.
Yeah.
The state's even bigger. So resources are sometimes a little thin. You know, the captain over here is not only us, but he's got everything up to the 110, down to Manhattan Beach Boulevard, all the way to the valley, you know? So,
I just asked just because our crime rates look really good compared to some of the other neighborhoods you probably do. Don't forget about us.
Oh, we don't.
Because I don't
Yeah.
want us to then be some of the other neighborhoods that you have to always be in
Right.
because we're neglected.
But just remember, just to touch on e-bikes, e-bikes is the new concept, and they correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen,
Yeah.
is sometimes new products come out, laws are always behind a couple years
Yeah,
before we
yeah.
start enforcing, and then we're in that stage where the state realized there's a problem, so we're kind of playing catch-up as far as what we could enforce, and that's the reason why the captain said, we're getting the guides, what we call it, to see what would enforce, but once again, it's something that the state didn't anticipate having issues with, and now they identify issues, so now we're in the enforcement where we got last week to start enforcing. Like he said, you drive a class 3, you need a license, so it takes a while before we pass that information to the officers, so they can go ahead and enforce that information. So just be a little bit patient, we are getting there. It's just fortunately, these products go a lot faster, upgrade a lot quicker than the laws catch up sometimes.
And I think working with the principals at the schools too, communicating that.
So we do that, and sometimes when we do some enforcement, they say, oh, we just wanted you guys to warn them not to cite them, and it doesn't work that way. For us to kind of change behavior, we unfortunately have to give a citation to change the behavior, because we've learned that if we give warnings, it's mostly repeat offenders, and it's not changing behavior. And Citations are mainly to educate, we'll do the education part first, and then the second part will be enforcement, which will be in the form of a citation.
And I think a lot of the schools are actually sending out like newsletters regarding the e-bikes to educate the kids and the parents on what is against the law and what, you know, you can and can't do with these e-bikes. So it's education too at home. Yeah, so if you have children, you might want to educate your children.
I think just like the bikes, the schools send out kind of like an agreement between the student, the parents, and the school. In order for you to store your bike on campus, you have to follow these guidelines. If not, you can't bring it here anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah.
right.
And I know that they're doing that, a lot of schools are, because I know my daughter's school's doing it, and I know a lot of the local schools are doing it. I just came from a community meeting in Lawndale, and I believe they do that there too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But El Segundo just came out with something too, where they have a class for these kids to do.
Yes, there is.
And then they get a permit.
Yeah.
Then they get a little license plate from El Segundo,
Very smart.
showing that they've
Yes.
gone through the class, they've passed it, and
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what I was,
there's options.
that's what I was gonna ask, is there anything in progress to put identification on the e-bikes yet, like a license plate, like everything?
Once again, it's something, the class threes are looking into as far as registering, because the high speed that they could reach or whatnot, so at a certain speed, like I said, if it's not human propelled, it got classified as a motorcycle, like the gentleman mentioned, you require a license and one license or whatnot. So yes, if you require registration, that's something that's handled through DMV and the classification of the e-bike when it gets purchased. And normally, these dealers know which e-bikes need to be registered based on their classification.
And many times they sell them as class 2 bikes with a switch that you're not supposed to touch according to the instructions. Do not touch the switch. And then all it takes is either the computer, changing a code on the computer, or flipping a switch on the bike, and it becomes a class 3 bike.
Your 14-year-old guy was the first thing you could grab was a switch, you know?
They don't even need to read the instructions to make the flip. Yeah.
Anything else, you guys? So I guess to recap, just, you know, you see things funny, suspicious, whatever, it's probably easiest to call the station rather than 911. You'll get a quicker response. Don't be afraid to call, just call them up.
Yeah.
You know.
And when you call that number, it goes directly to the dispatcher. Unless you call from like 8 to 5, it'll go to an operator who'll then transfer you. But after hours, it goes straight to our dispatch center.
But it does help route the 911 call if you know which agency services you, right? So if you know, yeah, if you identify yourself, I'm in the unincorporated area of Wiseburn, my law enforcement is South LA, Sheriff's Office, I mean, all that information in an emergency, I know, it's a lot, but it does help route the
Yes,
call.
but that number will go directly to us, so, yeah. You might bypass whatever transfers that you have been having. Yeah.
Captain Dominguez will try to work on getting us some speed patrol and maybe a few other things, so we'll try to get that working. Anything else, you guys?
Yeah, so if we put in a request for extra control, say there's an incident, say there's like numerous catalytic converter thefts, or there's been a couple of people who, you know, had some thefts happen, and we put in that request, would you honor that request?
Absolutely.
So let me repeat that. If you put in a call for extra patrol because of a repeat incidents, either catalytic converter was what Maria cited, and will you honor the request? And Lieutenant Giggles' response was yes. Go ahead.
So if you look at the thing, it looks like we had 3 this past month. But again, if there's a specific area that you know, is known for catalytic converters, please call us. What we'll do is we'll fill out a little card for patrol checks. We'll also send an email out to the deputies just so that they know. But make sure you indicate the hours of concern so that we can make sure that they're actually patrolling the areas when you believe that the crimes are occurring. Yeah.
I've called the sheriff's office when I leave town and say, I request an extra patrol. I don't know if you guys do that. I don't know if they encourage that or not, but I've called them and they said, yeah, we'll send an extra patrol out. And I make sure they write it down. They tell me, yes, we've written it down. So that's something else.
When we had our block watch, yes, one of the deputies said, please call, because we were gonna be gone for an extended period of time. And I didn't have neighbors across the street or next door because houses were for sale, so I was like, you know.
Yes, so
an extra patrol.
put in the patrol checks, they'll do it, and what they do is they have to log in the patrol checks. So when they do go around, they actually put in a actual log that says that they conducted a patrol check.
Thank you.
but it's not me, but dispatch, have they had any etiquette training, phone etiquette training? Because sometimes they're extremely rude. So I'm just putting it out there, have they had any training?
So if you have an issue with a specific dispatcher, please call us so we can address it. We randomly audit calls, but again, it might not be the call that you're,
Yeah.
the one that the call taker who took your call. So call us, we will address it.
So just remember that, take the name down.
Yes, take
When
the
you
name.
call, let them know what time you called, the date you called, who you spoke to.
Accountability.
If they're rude to you or they tell you that they can't come out, you gotta call.
Well,
Let 'em know.
request to speak to the watch commander with that.
Absolutely, we
Without
can.
them interrogating you, because then they wanna know what it's
And
about.
that's what I mean by phone etiquette. It's
Well-
not appropriate.
Yeah, just let them know, hey, you want to speak to the watch commander. And you don't have to give them a reason. Sorry.
Date, time, and place, right?
Yes.
Time you called, maybe who you spoke to, and if you don't have that, you have the time you called, so you can find out who based on the time.
And they shouldn't refuse, if you're asking for a watch commander. So just please make sure. And I think a lot of you guys have my email, telephone number. And if you guys don't, maybe you guys can
Yeah,
put it out.
if you want to spread it around, we can do that.
Yes,
Okay,
please,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
And then, like I said, I actually check my emails 24/7. If it's 3 o'clock, I'll get a little beep, and a lot of times if I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, I'll probably check it, and I may respond. And I think Bill actually emailed me early in the morning one day.
I could have, yeah, I could have.
And I responded,
Yeah.
I think within an hour.
Yeah.
As soon as the deputy was able to bring up the tag. So, use my email address, please. Call me if you guys have any concerns. Again, I do check it 24/7. I might not have an answer for you right away, because I may need the deputy to actually look something up for me, but I will respond within 24 hours. So, and they can put my email out there, and that's probably better than a phone call, though.
Anything else? You guys good? Nothing else?
I wanna wrap it up when we're all done.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing. Some of you have followed this, some of you haven't, and it may not make much difference. But the Sheriff's Department Office of Internal Affairs finally released their report, about 5-year-long report of deputy gangs. And they found no evidence of deputy gangs in our Sheriff's Department, so I think we can finally put that one to rest. So, moving on, what do you want to say, Tim?
A couple things that we were just talking about with patrol requests. It's not just vacation, it's not anything else. If you have a request for something, anything, call it in. Traffic related, you should direct it to CHP, they'll take care of it, right? Same thing. Don't give up, call it in. You see something going on and you think a deputy should be out in the neighborhood for a particular reason, call it in, ask for a patrol request, right? Ask them to come out in the neighborhood, doesn't matter. Suspicious people hanging out, transients, homeless people, whatever you want to categorize them as. Are homeless people criminals? Could be. Transients criminals? Could be. Suspicious people criminals? Could be. Maybe not, but they could be. So the point being is, don't assume one or the other, right? If something is, having your little spidey senses going, call it in. Have the deputies or CHP, whoever it is, if it's suspicious, it should be the sheriffs, have them come out and contact them. Have them come out, and then they'll find out at least who they are and what they're doing there. What does that do at a minimum? That means someone's watching. That means there's proactivity there. People care. They're gonna come out, they're gonna contact me, they're gonna, man, they're out here again. Man, they're out, well, if they're capering, they're not gonna caper around very long. Be proactive. So just because they might be homeless doesn't mean they're not criminal homeless, right? So don't get confused. Don't get it all tied up, okay? Crime rates. Remember, those are only reported crimes. I can tell you some other crimes that have taken place. For whatever reason, people don't call them in. So keep that in mind. These are only reported crimes. So there are other things that do go on in the community, and you probably know in your community and where you're at, where I'm at, I'm aware of, there are other things that happen. So this is like a minimum, just to keep that in mind. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, and folks, just a reminder to reiterate what Tim says, nothing shows more community engagement and interest from our agencies than if we generate, right, business for them, right? Nothing shows community involvement and the fact that the leadership wants to be here to talk to us if we generate, right, calls to them. So with that being said, thank you for our law enforcement partners for being here and for keeping us safe.
It's a follow-up from the last meeting, the questions about patrolling around the bars on Inglewood Ave. So have they done that?
For CHP, a follow-up question. Patrolling along, you want to repeat it, Licky?
I'm sorry, it was raised at one of our last meetings that we were having issues with the bars on Inglewood Avenue. Have you guys had a chance to patrol those areas? A resident brought that up.
Yes, we have. There was a couple of arrests made for driving under the influence since our last meeting, but outside of those few arrests, of DUI arrests, there's no additional, but it's still on the radar. So it's where we can get people freed up, and we've just been, like everybody, a little short-staffed, so as we get people freed up, they can be on there and continue that enforcement.
But it's good to hear that you've been out there.
There's been a handful of arrests out there, so.
Perfect. That's great.
And the follow-up question for those listening online was patrolling along Inglewood Avenue and the bars, and the captain says that there's been a few arrests for DUI in those areas. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Lizzie. Good follow-up. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to invite Ara An from the 2nd District Supervisor's Office to come up for a few minutes. And then we also have two representatives from the Department of Economic Opportunity, Felipe and Nathan, that are patiently waiting back there as well to take some questions. Ara, come on up.
Thank you so much, Eddie. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ara An, and I'm field deputy from LA County 2nd District Supervisor Holly Mitchell's office. And I have a few updates today, so I would like to share. At the last meeting, I believe I shared some resource list in English and Spanish, and I also brought them again. What I tell to the community is oftentimes we have services and programs available through your government. You know, we all pay tax in one form or another, right? Income when we purchase our restaurant businesses. And these are government programs that are available for you. But because people lack the knowledge and information, they miss out. So we want to fill that gap, and this resource list was created for that. So I'll share it again. Okay. So the resource list looks like this. It's double page. It's in English and Spanish. And after this, I'll pass it around. And another resource I wanted to share is a flyer from our Department of Mental Health. As you know, public health is something that county covers. We have Department of Public Health and Health Services. In LA County, we have 88 cities. Besides the cities of Long Beach and Pasadena, all the cities, including large Los Angeles City, and over 100 unincorporated area rely on the county for health measures as well as mental health resource. So this is really great. My colleague highlighted that their 24/7 hotline and resource is really good, and oftentimes people struggle behind the doors, right? So if you know anyone, this can really help them. So again, I'll pass this around. So if you know anyone that could be useful, that could use this, or any community meeting or families that might have children, feel free to share this. And our office also has monthly racial justice learning exchange program where we navigate different topics to discuss how we can combat racism and create more inclusive community across LA County. And we invite community members, commissioners, department liaison to have these events. And for this month, we have topic on race and religion. I know religion can be a hot topic, but again, we want to have these conversations so we can truly be inclusive and serve our community together and bring unity together. So this event is happening on March 25th 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It will be at our LA County office around Koreatown on Vermont Avenue. The address is 510 South Vermont Avenue at the upper terrace. And again, it's on Wednesday, March 25th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. So yeah, I'll pass this around afterwards. And let's see. Today, I want to appreciate Department of Economic Opportunity team for joining this. I know it's late at night, but thank you for being here. And Department of Public Works also wanted to come, but last minute adjustment, the staff was not available, so they were not able to come. So at the next meeting, they said they'll try to make it to talk about permit parking district, or as we call PPD. And also, another thing we talked about was the non-conforming vehicle ordinance, so I'll quickly cover that. So my colleagues that are working on this shared some bullet points, and I'm gonna go over them really quick, so please bear with me. So let's see. Non-conforming vehicle ordinance regulates oversized vehicles, and a vehicle is considered.
If that helps.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, wonderful, thank you. Great, thank you so much, Eddie. So yeah, a vehicle is considered oversized if it's larger than 8 feet in width, 7.5 feet in height, or 20 feet in length. If it is over any of these measurements, it is considered oversized. And we have been engaging many of our residents in unincorporated areas across our district for multiple years, and this is something the residents strongly advocated for to deter big rigs, box trucks, RVs, and other oversized vehicles that compromise visibility and parking stock. And many neighboring cities have put up similar regulations, which has put many of these vehicles into our unincorporated area. So to prevent these vehicles from going to one county district to another, we expanded these protections to all unincorporated areas in the 2nd district. And other county districts also added some of their areas for this ordinance, and Department of Public Works will put up signs at the entrance to each unincorporated area by the summertime. And the law can only be enforced once the signs are up, and these tickets will be $63. And let's see. This does not change the county's humane policy for homeless outreach. RVs that are occupied will still receive a ticket, but they will also be outreached to services and housing. And if residents wish to park their oversized vehicles on the street, they will need a physical permit from the sheriff's station, and the permit will allow you to park for 24 hours, and you can obtain 2 consecutive permits, and residents are entitled for 30 permits per year. And again, DPW staff couldn't come, but they will come at the next meeting so they can explain more and dive in further than my updates today. So they will touch on the parking permit district and non-conforming vehicle ordinance. And also, I want to share a happy news. Parking enforcement has been a hot topic, and many people wanted service and whatnot. So I want to share that around 2024, county approved sheriff's parking enforcement team to get $8 million. So instead of from 9 to 5 p.m., these staff are able to go around the community for 24 hours. So I wanted to share that this has been done to accommodate services for our residents. And yeah, if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to me. I can check for you. But general information, the experts at DPW will come at the next meeting, so you can hear directly from them. And so it's around July, but yeah, by next meeting they'll provide information and whatnot. So yeah, it should be good. Yes, ma'am.
The first part of that, and it may be part of what you're saying for signage. What is it exactly that it's saying for the parking, that they can't do what?
So if the vehicle is oversized, then it prevents like RVs or big rigs. Yeah, because we saw that these vehicles were being pushed from cities to unincorporated areas, which is a county, and we wanted to be considered to serve our county residents. So we tried to come up with these, yeah.
And we'll try and get a preview of the sign, of what the language will say on the sign. I don't think they'll ask for input on it, they'll really just tell us what the sign, if you're curious as to what they'll look like.
Perfect. I know this is probably a year or so, a couple years ago, we had brought up to you on La Cienega somehow getting signage that says like no overnight parking, because along, I think you can park there for up to a week and then street cleaning and then you have to move it, but I will speak for myself. I'm sorry?
72 hours.
72 hours, I will speak for myself. I'm seeing a lot more cars parking for multiple days and overnight, or stashing cars there, for whatever reason, and then coming back right before street cleaning, and then taking it and then putting it right back there. Huge kudos to parking enforcement, because when I called, they've been there within hours. The red warning ticket, and usually that will get them to move, but they're not done. They then move it and then put it right back. So are there any plans, or can there be any plans to change the parking signs specifically along La Cienega that just say no overnight parking? I think that will solve it immediately. Or am I missing something?
No. I think it's a great suggestion, Tiffany. I don't think R will have an answer, but I think that's a question for Public Works.
Perfect.
I think
So-
let's bring it up to them in terms of what
Yeah.
it takes to do that.
Yeah. So input like that is helpful, and the signage will go around summertime, right? I heard around July possibly. But yeah, at the next meeting, they can most definitely come and you can provide input like that. And another reason why we wanted to look at this holistically was to provide resources to parking enforcement and give $1 million so they can also enforce beyond 9 to 5. So there's that too.
So we need to be careful about what we ask for, because people who live towards the end of the street, that's the only place we have to park.
Your driveway and your garage.
I park there, okay? But I have neighbors that have teenage and college student kids, and they're trying not to take everybody else's spot, so they're parking on La Cienega.
Right.
And I'd rather they do that than everybody get into a fist fight about things. That allows us to not run out of parking. If you make it, you can't park overnight,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we're going to have a worse problem than we have now as far as
Could
angry
be,
neighbors.
but that's why we all have driveways and parking lots. I mean, and driveways and garages.
So I just built an ADU, and the law does not require me to add parking. Okay, I plan to do that, but in a 5-block stretch, there are probably 15 or 20 ADUs going in.
So I think.
If you can't park overnight, we're going to have a major problem.
Yeah. So I mean, the reality is that parking laws at the community, they don't do planning at the community level, right? Today, if I got 3/4 of the signatures on 142nd Street, I could have preferred parking district established, right, on my street. Does that make sense from a community perspective? Probably not, because all you're doing is you're pushing parking problems, right? Ideally, we coordinate this as a community, but it's been really difficult. Tim and I have gone on 138th, knocking on doors, trying to get signatures, right, to do a test block. We didn't quite complete that project, but we'd like to revisit that again, and for the county to take a look at what does it take to coordinate and provide consulting advice in terms of how do we protect the parking that we have in our area, somehow make it, fair and equitable as much as possible. Do we delineate parking spots, in parking areas on streets, especially the one-sided parking streets? Do we change direction on streets, right, to try and alleviate traffic flow? There's a lot of things that need to be explored that are not solved on a block-to-block basis. That requires a project, that requires planning. And it's going to be tough to get community agreement because everybody's thinking about their block, their area, their immediate surroundings. But I think it can be done, and it just requires getting the county and Public Works. I think this is good feedback for when Public Works is here to talk about how do we get a project manager assigned to study what the right way to not prevent traffic from flowing in the neighborhood, being able to accommodate, right, ADUs and subdivisions of residential lots and additional parking problems that we're going to have as people build ADUs, where state exemption, right, doesn't necessitate additional parking, right?
Yeah, it very explicitly says you do not need
Right.
to add parking.
Yeah, and the building that's coming up, right, the building that's coming up, we haven't even touched that in several months. There's no requirement for parking beyond the 10 parking spots for the 60 units that they'll have for people that are going to move into that building without cars in Los Angeles. Yeah. Derry.
whatever it is. And you got the smoke shop, and you got the beauty salon. Because like the people that work at the restaurant park on our lot, because they don't want to use the parking lot, because that's gonna take customer
Right.
spots away.
Right.
And I understand that. I don't agree with it, but I understand. And that's the way it is. But gate and shoe, it's an entirely different issue.
I agree, and so for us to study those issues and see if can we come up with a community, or should everybody go out and do it on their own, right, and create chaos for the rest of the community, which you're free to do today.
Another part of this problem, since we're all talking about it, and again, as a community, we should work together to address that. And the other part of this problem is the 4 or 5 used car dealers that put 75, 80 cars in our neighborhood all the time. And it's their junk cars they sell them. We need to run those people out. That's free up a lot of parking. They use our neighborhood as storage. You know, it's a multifaceted issue.
Well, we've been successful in some ways to go out of here.
But it just exacerbates the problem.
Okay, so again, I think let's talk about it, about what potential, rather than just discussing amongst ourselves, right? Because we're not going to solve anything here, and I don't mean to dissuade the conversation, but let's have Public Works here and ask those tough questions. Derry, yeah.
When Public Works comes out, and if they go and look from La Cienega to Ocean Gate, and they say, well, there's not an issue here, because there's no businesses. So they gotta make sure that they do the job correctly.
So
Don't
one of
look at it, oh, it's one neighborhood. It's not.
there's one good thing about whether you're happy with this non-conforming vehicle parking ordinance or not. And thank you to Harley for following this through, by the way. You know, Harley with
And I might say, I haven't already in a vote, and I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
I understand the better good of it.
But one of the advantages of this, of getting a heads up about this, is that the supervisors acknowledge Wiseburn as a separate and distinct community as part of the ordinance. We're called out separately from Del Air. The map, when you go to this website, the map lists Wiseburn as a separate and distinct entity from Del Air. That gives us some power and some visibility with Public Works. This is good to grandfather us into having a study done for our community and the particular nuances and needs of our community, north, south, east, and west, which have distinct character sets, right, based on traffic, business, you know, and other factors.
Yeah, because the first block off of Englewood has, you know, there's auto repair, Bill said, there's used cars, there's businesses all through every single block. And thank God I don't have used cars at my corner. You know, the restaurant, you know, the traffic goes in and out of there for an hour or so. And they go to eat and then they leave.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you got the used cars. That's an entirely different, or the auto. Because the auto repair guys, I see them running back and forth. across
Moving
the
vehicles,
street.
I know, yeah, I've seen them too. Yeah,
Hawthorne.
yeah. So, again, let's use the fact that we got called out as a separate community that this non-conforming vehicle parking ordinance applies to, separate from Del Air, how we used to be lumped with before, and see if we can make something happen. That's the only thing I can say about that. Just because we're 9 minutes short of the top of the hour, I'm going to have Felipe and Nathan to come up and talk from the deco. I'm sorry, were you done?
Oh, no, just like Eddie said, thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much, Eddie. Just like Eddie said, if you have any, feedback, maybe by the next meeting, think about it, right? And you can share, and that can help us serve you. So, yeah, thank you, Eddie, and I'll wrap it up there. Yeah.
Thank you, Ara.
Thank you.
Nathan, Felipe? Yep. And if you guys don't mind starting off with a recap of what DEO does.
Yeah.
Great. Just a 30-second recap.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Nick. I am here with my supervisor, Felipe, and I'm with the Department of Economic Opportunity. We do more than just sidewalk vending. That's a big concern for this area, but we do all economic development for the county. That means brick and mortars. That means entrepreneurs that are looking for, different ways to support the economy. We're here as an equitable way to do that for everyone. So if you know someone who's looking to start a business, whether that's from home, online, whatever, we have resources and information for them. Individuals that are brick and mortars, we do grants, loans, technical assistance for them as well. So we do economic development for the county. In this area, I know sidewalk vending is a big concern. It's a big thing that comes up. There is a county ordinance in regard to that, and we are doing our best to follow that ordinance. We do come out, we do canvassing in this area. We will be canvassing in a couple weeks. So after this, I'll answer some questions. And then if you have a spot of concern or a location you want us to add to that list, we know a couple that exist in this area, 135th and Ocean Gate, a couple others. And the ordinance doesn't allow sidewalk vending, stationary sidewalk vending in residential communities. So if you know a residential area, not like a big thoroughfare like El Segundo Boulevard or something, but a residential area, a stationary vendor, a vendor who's just popped up in a corner, cannot vend there based on the ordinance. Our job as a team is to come out, give them information. We give them about 2 times, and then we come out with Department of Public Health to actually remove them. Their ordinance allows, removal of food. If it's a merchandise vendor, we come out, we talk to them, and we do that as well. Something to note, public health at this point, due to the climate conditions, the political climate conditions, they are not going out and enforcing right now. So that is something to take note, but we are still going out and canvassing. We'll be canvassing within the next 2 weeks in this area. So if you have an area of note, someplace you want us to talk to some vendors, get some things, we can also give you a copy of the ordinance. You can read kind of what's going on, see what's going on, what's allowed and what's not allowed. If they are permitted, they would not be in the red area. They wouldn't be impeding traffic. They wouldn't do anything like that. They would not be blocking anyone who needs wheelchair access or anything and taking up the majority of the street. So a lot of the vendors you see now that aren't doing that are not permitted. They would probably need something from public health where they would actually come out, make sure they have a hand washing sink, a place that's clean and able to do the job that they're doing. So if you have a complaint, if you have a vendor of notice that you want us to give some more information to, again, we can talk in the back. We can look at that location, add it to our list. We also have a complaint. You can go on our website at opportunity.lacounty.gov and get some more information there. We can coordinate and figure out what's going on. With that said, I will leave it up for any questions, and we can go from there.
I have a question.
Of course.
So this vendor on 135th, he is violating ADA laws. There's no safe passage for handicapped people.
Okay.
He has boxes of fruit against the fence, and then he has his stationary device or whatever, his cart, right?
Yeah.
It is not safe. And it's in the code that it has to be safe passage.
That is correct. We do not have ADA compliance regulations. That's not something we've spoken to our county council about.
For ADA compliance.
Do you want to, I'll have Felipe answer on that.
Yeah, that's something that we're working with the sheriff's office, because we do not have authority to enforce ADA compliance. And we do, the way I understand it, for ADA compliance, there's got to be somebody making the complaint. So they'd have to submit that directly to the sheriffs.
So I can just call the sheriff's and complain that he's violating the ADA.
So we've been having this conversation back and forth with the sheriffs. We're trying to get a little bit of clarity on that, because there's still some gray area of exactly what can the sheriffs do. But from what I understand, you can call them, and then they'll either put us on a work group or try to figure out how we address those situations.
Or do we have to wait for somebody to come in, like these people that do that for a living, in a wheelchair, find that this is a violation, and sue the county?
Yeah, we've had something similar in East LA area. There's been those lawyers that you're talking about, looking for things like that.
Exactly, and that's a big problem.
Right.
Because now you're in our area, and they're gonna sue the county because of this one vendor.
Right, so I would advise you to file the complaint with us, right? And then you also call the sheriffs. And then we'll continue our conversations with the sheriffs. Believe me, it's something that's been going back and forth. We've met with our county councils. So we're trying to get a little bit more clarity on that. As of right now, there's still, like I said, a little bit of gray area. But at least as we start surfacing these, we can address the location. I wrote down the location already. You said 135th Street, and what was the cross street?
Ocean Gate.
Ocean Gate.
Oh, it's the same one.
135th
It's the
North.
same person.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other question I have, he's violating tax laws. He doesn't pay taxes.
Yeah, we don't, even with our ordinance, I'm not sure, I couldn't guide you on that.
couldn't guide you.
Yeah.
Report into the IRS because his name is all over the place.
You could possibly do that. You could talk to State of California seller's permit, find out if he has a seller's permit. They would be the ones who would regulate that. Again, anybody who sells anything is required to get a seller's permit with the state of California. That's something you may want to take up with the state. I couldn't tell you what to do. That's obviously not our jurisdiction. I can only tell you what's in
I'm
our.
gonna try to report every avenue I can.
Isn't there what?
So TTC does require business licenses, but not for sidewalk vending.
Yeah.
Business licenses are not required for all types of commerce. If you were to go to a business and you were to come to our office and say, hey, Nick, I want to start a business, this is what I'm going to do, I would refer you to a tax collector. Tax collector would say, yes, we permit that business. No, we do not. Some businesses that operate do not require a business license. It's just whatever is in the county code for the tax collector.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, things like petting zoos need a business license, but if I were to sell software or something, I'm not required to get a business license. So it's whatever's in the county code. So I will refer you for seller's permit, find out if he does have a seller's permit, if he's paying his taxes with state of California. You can always call our office, find out if any vendor is permitted. We have a number of vendors that are permitted. Again, they have to follow the ordinance, and if we find they're not following the ordinance, we have ability to revoke that sidewalk vending permit. We haven't revoked any sidewalk vending permits because those individuals are following the rules. Just like everything, there's good
This guy's
vendors.
been here forever, and it feels like we're just going in a circle.
Yeah,
There is no enforcement whatsoever.
I completely
And these
understand.
4 people that live there have to deal with him and blocking the driveway, parked in the red, all of these things.
Yeah, that specific case has gone up to, we have an intergovernmental county work group. We've raised it, and we've raised it over and over again. So, I mean, we're going to work with DPW again. We'll talk to them at the next meeting, but we've already escalated it to that point. We've gone out to visit, DPW's gone out to visit, DPH has gone out to visit. There's a different task force that I'm aware of that's now looking into certain locations, depending on how they're getting their product. So, trying to go after the bigger fish, if you will.
I see the same name on his cart, and I see it on other carts. So he's not working independently. He's working for somebody. So who is making that money? Is it him, or is it the guy he's working for that drops him off?
Right. Yeah,
That's a
so,
huge problem.
yeah, we can bring that up with DPH, because like I said, there's different task forces that are being formed to try to get that, yeah.
Is he paying back money that he owes, and they're using him? So all of that needs to be looked into, because they could be using him.
Absolutely.
And we are.
And
Trust me, we
yeah.
are looking into all that.
Yeah.
I think we had one question here, one question here. I don't know which one was first.
Just real quick, can someone go to him and ask him not to have the fruit right where the stand is? so that there could be
We have had conversations with him. We've come out, like I said, DPH has come out, a bunch of organizations have come out and spoken to him, and at this point, he's not responsive to anything. To be honest with you, he hasn't. We've talked to him, and because of the state of California, it is not illegal. It is decriminalized to vend on the sidewalk. So nothing in the county code, nothing we can do. I can't arrest him for anything he's doing. Nothing he's doing is technically illegal. So all we can do is cite based on the ordinance, have DPH go out and confiscate food. But as far as that's all we can do at this point.
Have you asked him to move?
We have.
Numerous times. We have documentation, pictures, times we've talked to him. He does have a lot of community support on the other side that's saying that he has a right to be there as well. So we've had some of that. We've had some people advocate on his behalf. So it's an ongoing thing that we have to look into as far as any additional efforts we can do.
I understand, I apologize for any, if the week didn't happen. But we've tried so many different things to try and comply to help the neighbors and do everything. I know some people aren't still happy. But I think if someone went to them and talked to them, to move that stuff down another place.
David, they've spoken to him numerous times, different divisions. Different.
You're on the late freight.
Yeah.
All this stuff has been done, so you need to catch up.
And the last meeting, they mentioned that, or somebody mentioned, that he makes so much money, so why would he go? So then, it's kind of like, what's going on? Is he living in poverty, or he's making a ton of money? I don't understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Part
Go
of the
ahead.
issue that would have been
And there are cars that double park, there are people that, you know, and so there is a large safety issue.
Yeah, we have.
Beyond just the vending on, is a safety issue with the cars
Yep.
parking and all of that as
And,
well.
and just to clarify, DPH, or I mean, not D, sheriffs is a part of the
I can talk to
group.
them, but the other thing is, we should have discussed that with the officers.
Yeah, we've actually discussed this with the officers, we've gone out with the officers, they know as well as we do. I don't want you guys to think we haven't tapped into all the resources that are available. Sheriffs are aware of the situation, we're aware of the situation, we've gone out with them. Sheriffs has gone out and actually, you know, I don't know, I couldn't speak to exactly what they do, but they've gone out and tried to cite people who are parking illegally, doing all that. But, you know, people see sheriffs, they don't always, at that point, they don't stop.
Yeah, we go to the sheriff's meeting here with some of your representatives, so we've discussed this case a number of times.
Yeah.
They're aware. We have to get to a point of where we get clarity, I think, to some of the points you were making, as to the next steps. Who's going to do the ADA compliance? And if that's one of the big issues, how do we go about it? It's something that we keep trying to determine. And meeting with our county councils, I can tell you it's been a little bit of a challenge trying to get on the same page. You know, there's just the county unincorporated areas are so large and so spread out, so it makes it a little bit harder when we're trying to do the compliance component of sidewalk vending.
But we have spoken to him, he's aware, we're aware, I think we're all aware of the same thing. I don't recommend any of you go speak to him, you're not an organization, and he has claimed harassment in the past, so there's no reason anybody should go to him, talk to him. He knows what he's doing, we know what we're doing, it's best to let us take the pathways that we're doing, so.
Yeah, but I would still add to that, Nicholas is correct, but I would still add, you know, we have a link on our website to file the complaint. So at least you get it on document that, you know, you've had this issue.
If we do document it, there's no enforcement behind it, so we feel like we're just reporting, and nothing.
Yeah, we are working, you know, we have that case. So if you keep, you know, submitting it, we hear from different people,
Do you
they're.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%.
This has
Yeah.
been years.
Yeah, I know.
Years.
Yeah, and we're working with the,
And there's been zero enforcement.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Yeah,
This
and-
guy is making a lot of money there for whoever he works for. He's not paying taxes, and he's blocking the sidewalk.
yeah.
Makes no sense why there's no enforcement.
Yeah, like I said, right now, DPH or Nicholas mentioned that they're not going out right now because of the current climate. Or else we'd schedule another meeting with them or another visit with them to help, yeah, so.
Pay taxes, but they're not doing their job.
We are working with the supervisorial district because they hold us accountable for the specific cases. So I know, you know, it's not fast action, but this way you get it on record. We bring it up to our intergovernment group and, you know, maybe we can keep at it and we get somewhere to a place where we can find something. No, I totally understand it, yeah.
Years. So you giving me the same information every single meeting does nothing for me.
Understood.
Right.
And,
I need to see action.
and your concern isn't dissimilar from a lot of places. I was just in South Whittier yesterday. This is a vital concern, so we completely understand. But again, we can only do what's in our ordinance. We're working with
But
SD2.
who's dragging? Who is not pushing? Why isn't it moving forward? First it was the ordinance, and we're waiting for that, and then we're waiting for some type of admin citation. When is that gonna happen?
I mean,
Yeah.
is it county council, or who, I mean, I
Well,
want you guys
yes.
to name it, yeah, is it county council?
Well, no, it's
I mean,
a combination of factors because every time.
Who's on the work group?
Yeah.
Who's on the
So we,
interdepartmental work group?
well, the ordinance is on us, is our Department of Economic Opportunity. But to your point, the administrative fines are not in place yet. So there's a couple of reasons why, you know, every time we develop it, then it gets sent back to us like, oh, fix this, add this puts too much liability on the county. DEO, it's a new department, so we don't even have the division yet to like collect the fees. If they don't pay the fees, go after them for not paying fees. So all of that needs to be structured before we actually launch. And that's what we're working on a continuous basis.
But it's funny that this guy is working and not paying taxes, blocking the sidewalk, and no county attorney addresses those issues when you guys bring this to them? Don't they review it?
Well, we talk about it, we're like, okay, what could we do? Have we done what we can do, which is what we go out and we talk to them, and to Pastor's point, we've asked him nicely, we've given them the information. Yeah, So we've talked to them, we've done that, our due diligence in that regard, but we do need to get that ordinance in.
Because obviously you said he feels like you're harassing him now, and now does he have a case when he's the one breaking the law?
No, because we could continue going out there. I mean, there's nothing that forbids us for going out there.
Beyond, you know, putting in the complaints with you, I think what Eddie was trying to say is where do we put the pressure for these things to move along? So you've already, come since the last time, now there's an ordinance in place, because I think the last time that I saw you here, there wasn't an ordinance yet, it was being drafted, so now there's an ordinance in place. So where do we put the pressure?
I'll ask it out loud. Do we need to file suit against the county for our disabled residents not to be able to access that pathway?
Yeah, I couldn't answer that question, so, yeah, it's, yeah.
All right, I asked it out loud, people heard it. Okay.
I have one quick thing.
Of course.
So I hear this is countywide, it's all over the place. Obviously, when the state did this, there's a history, long history now, of they failed their job at the state. However, us who live in the unincorporated area of LA County have a representative, an elected representative.
Correct.
In my opinion, who should be taking our grief and concerns back to the state and telling them, this isn't working for us.
Yeah.
We need to tweak this. It ain't working. So in that respect, I believe our supervisor, or all five of them, really, because I'm sure they all have problems in their areas, they should be taking that back to the state. Because if Tim Price calls the state, who am I gonna talk to? I'm not gonna talk to the guy who I need to talk to. But if Holly Mitchell or Fort Cobarts call the state, guess what? They get right in.
Yeah.
So, but that's the way it should work too. It's all good. She's our representative, but she should feel the pain. If this is what's going on, it's failed. I listen to you guys. It's failed. It's not working. We need something that works. So they should be coming down and finding out what's not working and fix the state laws that have been put upon us that aren't working. They're failed.
Yeah, the Board of Supervisors has open meetings every Tuesday, open for public comment. And, yeah.
Come up, Barbara.
But I have a county representative here.
Yeah, I know, but when it comes to state law, you have to talk to the right avenue and right jurisdiction. So we do have state assembly members, state senator here. So when it's state law that's impacting and it's not helping, I wanted to share with you that this area, there's Congress members, state senator, state assembly member, and supervisor. So when it comes to state matter, I wanted to share that county doesn't hold everything, but there's state electeds that you can also reach out to because everything's intertwined. So just wanted to add that. Thank you.
We've been to those meetings where they do this. Not my fault, but you know what I mean? It's frustrating for us because we live it every day.
So anyway, thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. Nonetheless, yeah.
Again, if you have anywhere else, we'd love to talk to them.
All right, fair enough. So we're 11 minutes over the top of the hour, really quick. We want to try and wrap this up over the next 10 minutes. And it says Wiseburn Athletic Center. The official name is the Wiseburn Sports Complex. For the sports complex that's being built on 135th and Aviation. We are going to have Dr. Silvers come and talk to the community at a community-hosted event in April, ideally prior to the inauguration. There's no official inauguration date just yet. The project management company completes the project on March 27th, pending any other rain delays. March 27th is the actual completion date. I suspect that Rock Around the Block for the school district is going to probably coincide with the inauguration, from what I've heard. But we're going to try and have Dr. Silvers come and speak at a Wiseburn hosted, at a school district hosted event meant for the Wiseburn community. Okay, so we'll publish that as soon as we hear. We already have a call out for the date. In April, he was out of town for tonight. Otherwise, we would have done this tonight. And we can address questions about the sports complex there. Everything from community usage to priority of usage of the field and what's involved there. All right?
Quick question. So you're saying
We're trying to get him before. We're trying to get him before. It all depends on availability. He's open. You can call his office and ask questions. But I'm trying to get him to come to or host a community meeting.
Thank you, that's appreciated because the communication, I think, is all over the place with this one between the school board meeting and Hollyglen. Getting a sneak peek, I think that's where it first kind of tipped when he or someone spoke about a lot of different things that were going on. A lot of the Hollyglen people weren't happy about it, and then of course their parents, and that trickled to the rest of us who don't go to those meetings.
So-
What's the best way to get the most up-to-date information on this facility?
The latest information is posted on the bond oversight, Measure EE bond oversight website. That's where the latest information is posted, from project completion dates. The second source of information is the Wiseburn Unified School District board meetings, right? Those are long, and you have to pay attention to the agenda, and they're tough to catch. They're not at an inconvenient time. They're at dinner time. But those are the two places to post, to get information. A lot of the sports leagues, even though they were advised in advance to issue a memorandum of understanding, hey, get something out to the board before they publish rate or the proposed rates. Nobody reached out. It's two sides not talking to each other. Proposed rates were sent out. Nothing's been finalized, but obviously the leagues were in a big shock over the rates. They're going to be adjusted. They're going to come to a happy median, and community usage and after-school usage, the sports leagues and community usage is on the top of the mind of the school district. That's all I'll say. They've always charged. Harley, we've always paid maintenance. The league has always paid maintenance and operations for fields. So Harley, let's table it. No, let's table it to when Dr. Silvers comes. It's right at 8:15. Really, let's table it for when Dr. Silver comes. Of course, they pay for maintenance operations for all the fields that they do. That's what they're gonna charge for. Correct. So again, let's bring this up at that meeting. I can't answer any questions. I'm just a relay of information. So we'll publish it on Nextdoor, on the website, via email, so we can get people to come. And those are good questions. Those are good questions as far as what maintenance is required. Where does it come from?
What we didn't pay them to do it when we had Little League, but we paid the money that it cost to take keep the fields maintenance, the dirt every year, all that stuff. We never paid the district, so now they're asking them to pay.
We are paying the district for the fields. So we are. Yeah. And so, so let's have the official source come and address these questions. I think those are good questions. Yeah. And the last topic is board elections. We're all due for a new board, right? I think everybody here does this, not for any recognition, but because we love our community, right? We had two folks, I think, or perhaps a third one, express interest. One of them is here to join the board, right? So not enough to hold elections. Some of them were wishy-washy. Hey, what is it about? We created a slide on what's involved and what the commitment is like, right? I mean, it's not a lot of commitment. It's informing the community, right? We have a list of about 340 members, an announcement-only list. It's not a discussion list. Discussions are held on Nextdoor, right? That's where you can go and bicker and complain about things and get some feedback as far as whether people want to join you in complaining. But we do update Nextdoor, Twitter, Reddit, and our website are our main media channels. Sorry, Patrick, I forgot YouTube. We're live streaming on YouTube right now. I want to acknowledge there were two comments that came in over YouTube. Mr. Palacios, we heard you about the drone usage. That's a question for law enforcement that we'll have to submit in terms of drone usage. There are state laws and county laws about drone usage. And then I think we mentioned the illegal modification of bikes. 90% of the bikes that are sold are Class 3 bikes that are disabled with Class 3 and Class 2, sold as Class 2 bikes with a flip of a switch or flip of the software become Class 3 bikes without modification. The other duty of a board member, back to the board member piece, are liaisons with some of the law enforcement partners that you saw tonight, the county representatives that you saw tonight, regional planning, and other entities that aren't here, as well as county contracted utility services like our trash service is our primary utility service, UWS, Universal Waste Systems. Thank you, UWS. So those are the duties. The duties are time-wise, probably a couple hours per week at most, and know what's going on. Was that accurate? A couple hours per week, right? Yeah, if that. So it's not a big time commitment. So what we're gonna suggest is that so that we're not without a board because we're a nonprofit organization, that until we get some candidates that are willing to commit, that the board continues as is, and ideally, when we get some candidates, recruit people, we need some young people. Not to be ageist, but everybody here has put in their time. But we need some folks that are more representative of what comprises the community today, which I think are a younger set of folks that what constitutes the board today. Tiffany, yes.
Is it has to be 2 years versus 1?
No. We could change the bylaws to make it, and I think somebody earlier had suggested one of the Friends of the Library was here. Given that we have board composition right now, we're gonna see if we can change the bylaws to make it a shorter term and perhaps a smaller group, an odd number of board members, because it doesn't take a lot, and I think. To do this, sometimes our numbers maybe don't work in our favor. So we'll see if we can modify there's nothing that prevents us from modifying the board rules for shorter terms and for a smaller number of people. Yes?
There's some people that are, I think, interested on my block. Do they have to be homeowners or can they be renters?
No, they don't have to be homeowners. They have to be within the Wiseburn area.
They can be renting the house they live in.
You don't ask that. You can't, yeah. Yeah, the geographic boundaries of Wiseburn. Yeah, no, nobody will ask, do you own your house? Nobody, yeah, no. It has to be a stakeholder. Very well, Tim. Yeah, resident stakeholder. Yeah. And thank you, Mona, to the suggestion. I didn't even know you were still here, Mona. I'm sorry. Mona was the one who suggested.
Don't leave yet, you guys, because I'm gonna hang on one second. I want to give anybody who has an opportunity that wants to say something to the pastor about the food drive on Thursdays. If you have a concern, you want to thank him, whatever you want to, he's here on his time to address some of your concerns if you have. Anybody?
Well, we should address it for some of the members, some of the people that have come.
Well, had we known he was going to be here, our supervisor's office did not inform us, I would have.
Whoa. No. Anybody is free to attend the meeting. No pre-announcement. Unless he's on the agenda, nobody has to say, I'm coming to the meeting.
I'm willing to be here another time. Like I said earlier, I apologize for any inconvenience that we've done. We work with the Board of Supervisors, we work with the sheriffs, we changed the time from 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock to 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We're at 8 o'clock, which seems to be working perfect. Of course, some people are still upset. Anybody's willing to come down and volunteer anytime. We want to be a part of this community. We not only give the food to the people that you might see in the cars, we feed 15 to 20 elderly people around the neighborhood, but there's probably 50 or 100 of them that if we had more people to be able to deliver to them, we could probably feed more people that need it that they can't get out. So we, in our community, yeah, anywhere. I mean, we send food to Belize, to Mexico, we sent 72 pallets to Ukraine. So we want to be here for our community. I apologize for not being here sooner, but I'm open for any suggestions. We work with the Water and Power, we work with the Highway Patrol, we work with the Sheriff's Department. We've done everything that we can. If you know someone in need, we want to be there for them. We want to help you in any way. So if you have any complaints, anybody can reach out to me. I'll give you my number. It's 310-770-4715. Miss Haley has it, 310-770-4715. But Bill used to have it. I don't know if he still has it. You know, we have a NASCAR. We took it down to Memorial Park when they had the thing, when the old mayor had for autistic kids. We had 100 and some kids get into the NASCAR, and we started it up. We just want to be a part of the community, and if we could help be better, you know, help us figure it out. Because I'm not the brightest light bulb in the package.
I will say that I have seen some changes in the timing. Like, I was not personally impacted because I live the opposite direction, but I have seen and witnessed some changes. So I will say that there are some, like you said, the modifications in time. So I have seen that in the time frame that I'm leaving.
Thank you. I never realized, because no one reaches out to me. They use other avenues, but you're welcome to reach out to me. I didn't know that there was trash left on La Cienega from people. You know, we clean up Ocean Gate, 134th and Ocean Gate, that area too, so we can come out here and clean this up.
I will let you know that they did have some volunteers one day going up the street sweeping and had the trash can, and it was a very hot day, so they did have a team that was out there.
Thank you. Yeah. Amen. And if there's any need, if we don't have it, we deal with 100 churches that might have something, or organizations, just not churches. But we want to be your friend, because this is what was Hawthorne, right? Neighborhood of friends, right? So.
Three-quarters of the trash, the noise, the smelly cars, the leaking of the oil, the walking of marijuana into people's homes, all in La Cienega for 6 blocks, 7 blocks.
I don't know about the walking of people's homes with marijuana. Oh yeah, in the car. If we start, now that it's brought to my attention, we won't serve those people. We'll let them know immediately. We will work. Like I said, bring these to me, please. I'm open.
Courteous too to the people that live there. When
Yeah.
they need to leave, they need to leave. They can't wait or run down to get you to get them to move.
Right. That's why we moved to La Cienega Avenue.
It's the driver.
No, I understand, but that's why we stopped having so many cars on 134th Place, and we do monitor now. So even we only bring 5 cars down 134th Place at a time, and if someone's in somebody's driveway, we move it immediately.
Like I said, that's kind of what the point is. You've taken the 134th Place issue and you moved it to La Cienega. You've gone from here to here. You know, now 134th Place is an issue.
Yeah.
You're holding up traffic, but now it's people on La Cienega.
Copy.
That's much cleaner there, though.
Yeah.
And they have the little lady going down, and she's registering everybody, so.
Yeah, she is, Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon.
Yes.
Yes.
As she smells somebody smoking, she goes, oh, sorry, gotta take it off.
Yeah, she's 84 years old. She just lost, her son just was diagnosed with cancer. But we're open. Just talk to us. If there's parking issues on La Cienega now, I'll have somebody make sure that they move. I'll make sure that they're not parking in someone else's. This young lady had the audacity to come to me with authority, and I loved it. And
That was nice.
no, but it was with authority, as she should have. I loved it, you know. And she said to me, "It's better."
It's better than it was, yeah.
Well,
I think
amen.
the staff I think having the staff there,
Yeah.
it seems like there's more people on the sidewalk, especially that older lady. She's amazing. She like really leans in and makes sure, because there was somebody like threw their trash out while we were there.
Yeah.
And I told her, and she gave it to him.
Amen.
Like, she
Amen.
went up there and gave it to him, and she's like, that would never happen again. And I was like, okay. Thank you.
And I'm not some mean monster. I'm a pastor today. I've been a pastor there for 20 years. I don't box anymore, so please come to me. Let's get along, amen? And like I said, I apologize for any inconvenience. Let's work together to make it better. Amen?
I want to say thank you to Pastor
God bless
David for coming.
Amen. And
You're always welcome.
I will make a habit of trying to be here myself every other month or whenever, or I'll have a representative. But please, my door is always open. My phone number is 310-770-4715. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you too. Thank you, Pastor.
On the drones, you guys,
Into the mic because it was somebody online that was asking about it. Yeah.
on the drones, a lot of them, believe it or not, are insurance companies. They're looking at people's roofs, they're looking at people's houses, and they're looking for reasons to stop your homeowner's policy. Yep. So that's what a lot of the drones are.
Or what?
Insurance companies, looking for reasons to cancel your homeowner's policy. Because they're on the hook for the Palisades fire. Even though it's not their fault, you know. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my neighbor got hit for his roof. A woman in Santa Ana got hit with her roof, even though she had just had a roof 3 years ago. The drone saw chipping paint, and the AI software they used described it as missing shingles. And she had to go through a whole bunch of stuff to get her insurance policy reinstated. That's what they're doing. So. All right, I think we're done.
One quick thing. No, one quick thing. Yep. The Friends of the Library are having a book sale April 11th. Starts at 9 or 10 in the morning, runs till 2. We need support from the community. It's a great way to get gifts really cheap. And all the money goes back into, it's at the Hawthorne Library. That's good. No. The book sale's at Hawthorne. Both libraries have an ongoing book sale anytime, so feel free to come browse. The other thing is we got a donation for the Seed Library. We have Seed Library thanks to Derry's endeavors. We have Seed Library at both of the libraries. We got a $200 donation to buy more seeds. So we delivered the first batch of seeds to both libraries. You can go to the library and get 3 packages of seeds a month from each library for free. So take advantage of it. Derry set it up. It's a great opportunity if you've got kids for them to find out where food comes from.
Anything you guys want to talk about? Yeah. I think we're at the open forum section, right?